Welcome back into the Sports Source, the segment of our program brought to you by Medic Regional Blood Center. 2018 marks the 60th anniversary for Medic here in East Tennessee. That is 60 years of transfusions, and that is literally millions of gallons of life-saving blood. If you haven't been part of their history, be part of their future. Medic Regional Blood Center. It is the greatest gift you can give to your community. medicblood.org to learn more. Love those guys. All right, lots to cover in these next two segments, so we're going to start the rapid fire thing. Bob, the report this week says that Tennessee's working on a multi-year contract for athletic director Phillip Fulmer that would pay him around $900,000 a year, which is about what most ADs in the SEC make. Part of the whole sale on Phillip Fulmer coming back was he's doing it for the love of the university, do it for mama, no questions
Mom, apple
asked.
pie, and big orange flag.
If he winds up not taking a hometown discount, does that hurt that in any way, or can you love the UT and do it for mama and still take the money and be cool with it?
I think it hurts it a little bit because I think you're in a situation right now where you just bought out your former AD or paying him off. You've got a situation where you're buying out your former football coach. So you're in the black a little bit, or in the red, excuse me. So if you came in and said, "Tell you what I'm going to do, just whatever I'm making right now is good, and let's just keep going forward." So yeah, I mean, you could give a little bit more back. Flip side is that's the going rate in the SEC. Hey, yeah. I charge people what I think I can get out of them too. So there you go.
It's like with everything else. It's a great thing right up until the day people get mad at him, and then it's what are we doing paying him that kind of money, if that's what they wind up paying him. Josh, Trey Smith is still off the practice field, and UT has been very tight-lipped about what his health issue actually is. A medical issue is the way it's been described. We taking that, are fans and media taking that seriously enough? Because it seems like the thought around the area is, oh yeah, he'll be back. I'm not so sure that that's a big guaranteed lock, as so many people think. Are we taking it as seriously as we should?
Probably not, and definitely not if it's just assumed he will be out there playing football this fall. I know there's been optimism expressed. Actually, it's kind of funny that that's one of the players that Jeremy Pruitt before spring would talk about, and said that he was optimistic he'd be back soon and be back there this fall. But when I talk about Trey Smith, I try to make sure that word "if" is included in the conversation, because right now that's what it is, an if Trey Smith is out there, which is obviously very important for what's going to happen with Tennessee this year.
Ryan, Pro Football Focus went back through all of the passes thrown by the SEC's returning quarterbacks. They adjusted the completion percentage for each of these quarterbacks. They took out drops, they took out spikes, throwaways, stop the clock. Even when you were hit throwing, they took that out. When they did so, of the returning quarterbacks, Jarrett Garantano ranked 4th in the SEC now with a 73.6% completion ranking. Does that change your thinking on Jarrett Garantano at all?
No, it doesn't, because that doesn't, to me, take away the biggest problems with his game, which are decision-making right now, getting rid of the ball quickly. So you said it takes away throws where he's hit as he's throwing for holding the ball too long. It also it doesn't include the sacks that he took from not getting rid of the ball quickly enough, and the times he just tucked and ran to get out of a situation because he couldn't find someone open. So that's where he still needs to make the biggest progress. We've always known he can throw the ball well when he sets his feet and does everything right, but he's got to work on the mental side of the game. That's always the big step for the young quarterbacks out there. He's no different, and he's got to get better at that.
Chuck, a few weeks ago when Mark Pancratz was here, we talked about the fact that Tennessee's was probably going to have somebody transfer. You have another spot on the roster open up, aside from just James Daniel, who's graduated. You did have that this week. Chris Darrington announced he's going to leave. That gives you 2 slots open. I think everyone knows that they'd like to get kind of a slashing, driving guard in there in one of those slots. What do you do with the other slot?
Well, I mean, the NFL phrase is probably the best available player. If you can find a shooter, but then if you got a guard leaving because of lack of playing time, you're going to get another guard. I don't know about that. How many rim protectors are out there? That's what the glaring need was on this team when Kyle Alexander went down and couldn't even give you 10 minutes in the NCAA tournament game. Can you find somebody that can help you there?
To me, that's it. I think a big man's needed even more than a slashing, driving guard. And I know that's the opposite of what UT thinks, but here's the deal. You made it as far as you did in the tournament last year, and you would have gone farther if Kyle Alexander doesn't go down. You made it that far with that team without the slashing, driving guard. If you had another guy off the bench who could have come in as a big man and just given you half of what Kyle Alexander did, you get by Loyola Chicago, and who knows how far you get. So to me, I'd be looking for a big guy. I don't know if there's any quality.
Right.
By God, I'd be trying to find one.
You did that too with Lamonte Turner coming off the bench a lot of times.
Yes.
That's a crazy thing to think about. But yeah, you don't have that backup in the post.
Yeah. Okay, guys, when we come back, a lot more stuff. Jalen Hurd, Randy Sanders, oh, that Woody Hayes, Randy Sanders, Steve Spurrier. We're going to talk to Gators, talk to Titans. Got a lot more. Come on back on the Sports Source.